Right, brilliant. I think we can see people starting to filter in, which is fantastic. So we will give people a few seconds to join. Um, Please do say hello to each other in the chat. Always more fun and engaging if we say hello and things, and there's a bit of dialogue. Um, and please do leave questions and things as we go along because there's some time for Q&A at the end. I will endeavour to sort of remind people a few times throughout that. So, yeah, right. Yeah, more people filtering now. So I am going to get started in a minute. Well, not in a minute, in a few seconds. Quick sip of my tea, and then we'll go. Okay, right. I think we've got plenty of people here, so we'll get started now. So good morning. Thank you for joining. I'm very excited to do this webinar today. The eagle-eyed of you, or people that have joined webinars before, will have spotted or recognized that I am not Jack Power. Unfortunately, Jack has he's ill with this dreaded lurgy that seems to be oh, good. Can everyone hear me? Excellent. Said it was connected to audio. With the dreaded lurgy that seems to be going around and taking out half of the UK. So Jack's getting some R&R, and you have been lumbered with me. So who am I? I'm Ant, and I'm the head of product here at HR DataHub. So just a reminder, before we do jump in, please do leave any questions you have or comments, etc., in the chat, because there's a bit of time at the end for some Q&A. Happy to answer any questions that you have. So yeah, please do sort of drop those in as we go along if there's anything you want to ask. Right, so with further ado, today I'm delighted to introduce the latest change to the HR Data Hub platform. So today we're going to be looking at saved searches. This it's a long-awaited feature, and we believe it's going to have a great impact, not only the way you benchmark, but the confidence you'll have benchmarking going forwards with HR Data Hub. Now, at HR DataHub, we exist to help companies build the best deal for their people. And we're doing this, we want to do this for anyone involved in the process of rewarding people. And we do this by making access to real-time data and unique insights as easy as can be. We also get that it's difficult to confidently and consistently make recommendations that align with business objectives. So solving this challenge, it drives all of our product thinking, and is reflected in the changes we've introduced to the HR Data Hub platform. So why are we making these changes? Well, as Jack mentioned in the previous webinar, where we unveiled the introduction of our new visualizations and our new filtering changes, we spend a great deal of time listening to your feedback, and this is to ensure that we're fundamentally delivering functionality that accelerates your salary benchmarking, and ability to monitor what's going on in the market. So saving your searches is one of those fundamental pieces of functionality. So it increases the confidence that you have that you're doing like-for-like benchmarking whilst decreasing the time spent on building repetitive searches. And we really think this will massively help you conduct larger scale benchmarking exercises efficiently and consistently again and again. So let's have a look at what's changing on the platform and how it works. So I'm now going to share my screen. So bear with me 2 seconds whilst I find the platform. Okay, that has confirmed that everyone can see. So do shout in the chat if you can't see. I'm just going to move this window. So I will log in. And First things first, you may see that there's a slight difference to the homepage when you first log in. We have updated these sort of help center cards down here just to bring some more of the sort of relevant, pertinent sort of bits of information to the front. And there's been a lot of work by Alex and team behind the scenes updating documentation and videos for self-service help and things. So there's some really good resources in there. So do check them out. I'd also like to draw attention to this particular card here, submit a new idea. So if you ever have any ideas or bits of feedback, improvements, etc., for the platform, the probably the easiest and the best way to get that feedback to us is if you click on this, it will take you directly to a portal where you can sort of type in your idea or your feedback, and that comes directly to me and my team, the product team, and we review that really frequently. And indeed, that's how we ended up Safe Searches. We listen to your feedback. So, of course, you can sort of speak to people, Alex or other people, but yeah, like I say, the quickest, most efficient way to get that feedback directly to me and my team is by submitting a new idea here. So, top tip that. Now, other things you may have noticed is this lovely button up here, My Safe Searches. So, what we can do is if we click on that, we will essentially go into your Save Search folder, and we will see that I have no Save Searches set up. So let's jump in and benchmark a couple of roles. So if I click on this benchmark role button, that will take me through to the expanded search screen. So hopefully everyone or most people are familiar with this. We have our sort of search ribbon and our additional filters down here. So I am going to be looking to benchmark some HGV drivers. So another little top tip is when you're searching job roles or job titles is try and be as generic as possible with the job title, because different people can sort of call a job title by different things. You can also enter multiple job titles here. So try and be as sort of generic here. And then also you can refine and help match jobs with keywords is a particularly powerful tool area down here. So I'm just going to search driver. I'd like to look around Birmingham, big distribution hub, and we'll leave it 20 miles. So I'm going to start by looking for a class 2 driver. So I'm going to search class 2, entered that as a keyword there. And then I can either apply those changes here, this button apply, or the search button here. They both do the same thing. So I'm going to hit apply with those filters. It's going to run the search, and I can see with my insights here, median pay is 28,800, 495 jobs. Not going to dive too much into the results here. Going to focus on the saving element. So that's great. I want to save this search. So by default, it will just be called untitled. So you can click into this and save this as whatever you like. So I'm going to save this as I'm just going to call it HGV driver, and then I'm going to call it class 2. And that is saved there. And then I hit the save button here, and I should get a little confirmation message here. So that's the system telling me that search has been saved. So that's all well and good. If I want to go and see what that search looks like now, I can go back to my Save Searches folder up here, and we can now see that that has populated in a list this class 2 driver, and it gives me some of the sort of key bits of information in this table. So when you sort of start to populate this further, you can jump in. You can see, oh yeah, this is my class 2 driver, the median pay last time you searched it. It was an annual search, Birmingham, timeframe, etc. And also you get told the last time you edited that. So excellent. I'm going to benchmark another role. This time I want to look at a class 1 driver. So another little top tip here is you still get your recent searches. So if I click on my recent search here, the driver in Birmingham, that'll take me back to that previous search. And given it's a similar role, I can just go and edit this keyword here So I'll delete class 2 and I'll change that to class 1. Hit enter to save that keyword there, and then click the apply button to rerun that search. And here we go, we can see that that's probably unsurprisingly increased the median pay, because now we're looking at class 2 drivers, bigger vehicles up to 44 tons, I think it is, which is great. So now I'm going to save this as an HGV driver class 2, and then I'm going to hit save. Again, I get confirmation that search has been saved. And again, if I go back to my save searches, I can see that I have accidentally, this was not planned, I accidentally typed that wrong. So this was a class 1 driver, not a class 2 driver. So what you can also do from this view is edit that title. And because I'd accidentally entered it with the same name, it has put in a bracket here 1. So it's telling me that that's essentially the duplicate. So what I will do is rename that as the class 1 search, hit enter, and again, I get a confirmation here that's updated the search title. So that now more accurately reflects what those searches are. So not going to be too repetitive, but the last one I'm going to do is I'm going to run this search again, but I'm going to do the ADR, so essentially hazardous goods classification. So if I click to benchmark another role, again, that top tip, I'll just use that recent search essentially as a template. Once it's run, I will go back down here. I will delete this keyword for class 1, and I'll put ADR. So it must include ADR, this search. I'll apply that. And there we go. We can see that, again, the median has crept up a bit, because now, obviously, there's an extra qualification able to drive or transport hazardous goods. So I'm going to save this again as save that, and then back to my save searches. And then you can see this, that I'm not going to do any more because that would be a bit repetitive, but hopefully what we can see here is starting to demonstrate how you could start to build out a number of roles, say within a job family or a function, and you can start to sort of, what I've been doing here is, I guess, sort of getting different levels of this role or different skills or qualifications. And you can start to see in a list now, once you've run those searches, how maybe the pay would differ there. You can also sort these various columns. So if I wanted to sort these by the pay, so it's either ascending or descending, you can do that here. So one of the other well, before we jump into another thing, obviously you can delete a job. So if you've saved a job erroneously, or you just don't want it anymore, you can select either one and delete a job, or you can delete multiple. I'm going to delete all of these so I can show you something else. So if I select all of those and then click the dustbin icon here, I will get a confirmation pop up before I do that, because that would be incredibly annoying if you accidentally click that and they were gone. Just to say, once you deleted them, they're gone. I'll click to delete those, and then I'll get another confirmation message just to tell me, and we'll now see that I have no saved searches. Again, just a little reminder, any questions on anything I'm showing you, feel free to drop them in the chat. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them at the end. If not, can take anything offline. One other thing that I'd like to show you in here, which I think is pretty neat, is if I go to benchmark a new role, what we can do is we can actually start to monitor companies of interest. So I'm going to put a different hat on now. I would like to monitor some project management jobs for Network Rail in Milton Keynes. So I'm going to search for a project manager, which I've noticed is also sometimes just called project management. Project management. So again, they're using multiple job titles to help be more inclusive of that search. Milton Keynes, so headquarters. And then I'm going to go down here and I'm going to use this organization filter here, and I'm going to include network rail as the company that I want to search for. So we can see here that I should just be searching network rail jobs, project manager jobs in Milton Keynes. So if I search that, this part existing functionality, but now being able to save this makes it really powerful for being able to sort of go back and spot check what competitors or other companies of interest are doing. So out of interest, not much hiring going on late summer, but a big push sort of autumn, winter. And I'm going to save this now as my um, NR jobs. Well, no, let's type it network rail PM, and that's in Milton Keynes. So again, I can save that. That has indeed been saved. And you know the drill now. Back to my save searches. And there we can see that I've saved a completely different type of search for a different purpose. But yeah, I want to monitor particular jobs, the particular company here, and that gives me this here. So point to note, these searches are what we call static searches. So this information here will be the information based on when you last ran that search. And that can be shown this sort of last edited column. So if you ran that search or edited it a couple of weeks ago, it would tell you that. And if you want to go in and update that, well, that's important because if you want to share information on this search, you might not want that median constantly changing based on the market. You might want to know at this point in time, this duration I searched, and this was the median pay, for example. So you can always know that. You can jump back into that search, rerun it, and then get updated figures if you want sort of, alive as of today, stats and insights on what the market is saying for a particular job. So that's that. That's pretty much the demo for today. Try not to get too heavy into it. Hopefully that's showed some of the power of the things that we can now do with Save Search. Indeed, yeah, hopefully speeding things up, allowing to be more consistent, and ultimately more confident using the platform, and sort of, sharing outputs and making decisions and recommendations with the data. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and then give you a few minutes just on some of the future plans we've got. So if I stop sharing, excellent. I think that's one. Yeah, so again, just another reminder, drop any questions, comments in the chat. I can see there's a few things coming through, which is great. So yeah, we said in the agenda that there would be a little bit of time talking about some sneak peek into future things that we're going to be delivering in HR DataHub. So yeah, so one of the things we'll be working on, so you've just seen save searches. We've already got a long list of things, enhancements and improvements for save searches to make it even more powerful and help you be even more consistent, speed things up even more. So there's a couple of things sort of coming down the line. For example, duplicating a search. So if you know you want to sort of build out a whole job family or something with similar sort of filters and searches, you will be able to sort of hit a duplicate button and it'll essentially copy and paste that search for you. So you can start to build out a list of things, roles to benchmark much quicker. There's also, we're going to be building out something called collections, which is essentially folders, and that will give you complete flexibility and control to structure all of your searches and roles that you want to benchmark in whichever way works for you. So whether that be by job family or sort of types of roles, critical roles or really hard to recruit roles, complete flexibility to do that how you want. We also are, sorry, just reading some of the questions coming through. I shouldn't try and multitask. So we're also working on filtering or searching by industry. That's another example of a top request from lots and lots of customers. So we hear you. We've been working on that for a while. Some some really cool sort of machine learning stuff in the background to help sort of extract industries there. So that should be coming this quarter. Looking forward to delivering that. And then some other bits and pieces we are currently exploring, more in the exploratory phase. So we're looking at how we can extract information on benefits, so you can get a picture of total reward. We're also exploring building a leveling framework. So not super detailed, more of a proxy leveling framework. And actually, I'm going to use this as a nice opportunity, particularly on those two, to ask the audience. So, whilst I've got lots of valuable customers here, please do drop a note in the chat. Which one would you like to see in the platform first, benefits or leveling? So, yeah, if anyone has a strong preference on which one they'd like to see first, please do. The benefits and capital, excellent. Thank you very much. Lots of benefits. That's amazing. Like I say, it's absolute gold for us. We want to build what our customers want first, which is really important for us. I can see lots of votes for benefits, which is great. And just on that, another reminder, if you are in the platform, that that button there, submit an idea, that information comes straight to me and my team as well. And that just adds even more weight to that is something that our customers are absolutely crying out for. Essentially, we use as one of the lenses that we use to sort of decide what to build next in the platform is a sort of democratic process. Essentially, if customers vote for something and we get more votes on it, that pushes it up the list of things that we're going to build. So yeah, we try to be as customer focused as possible in terms of developing and building out things for the platform. That is enough from me. I'm sure you're all bored of my dulcet tones. So I am going to attempt to answer some questions if I can figure out how to get the chat open, which is not that hard. He says. Okay, so I'm just going to run through a few of the questions. Can we refresh the market data for Save Search in? So I think that's a question around. So the Save Search is what we call a static search for now. So the information you get in that summary of the Save Search will be the information as of when that search was last run. And then if you want to update the market data, then you sort of click into that search, rerun it. It'll rerun and refresh that. Another thing that we would really like to do, what we will be doing at some point in the future, is the idea of a live search. So you'll have the ability to choose whether you save it as a static search, as we just looked at, or a live search, which will constantly update in the background for you. So you don't need to go in and refresh that. You could almost get a dashboard view live of what's happening. Some more future exciting stuff. A few questions in the QA as well. Excellent. What's the Q&A over here? Fantastic. Multiple people have an account. Is there a way to show save searches across all of our accounts? So yeah, that is something we are looking at, is some of more of the sort of organization level structuring as well. So I mentioned this concept called collections, where yeah, we could potentially have permissions around who can and can't see things, but also more of an admin layer where you can see potentially what all of the searches are if you have multiple users, and get some statistics on what number of searches are being done for different users and things. But obviously we have to be a bit conscious around sort of permissions and how far you want to share that through your organization. So yes, absolutely something we're considering, definitely. Another question about median and rerunning the searches. I think I've answered that. So yes, it's a static search for now. You rerun the search to update the median. And can you look at downloading the data for all of your saved searches as a single exercise? So I think what you're asking there, Sean, is essentially like a bulk download of all of those search results. That's actually not something, a use case we'd considered, but that's a really good suggestion. So yeah, all of these questions we'll take, and I'll feed those into essentially what, as a product team, we call these insights we look at. So yeah, I'll feed that into the process, and it'll be something we consider when we develop out the safe search feature. But yeah, thank you. I think, unless there's anything that's come through back here. Live search, excellent. Yes, that's great. Thank you. Another vote for live search. That's fantastic. Thank you. So I think that's all the questions. So unless any more come through, I am going to say thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate you joining me this morning, and maybe see you again in the future. Thanks. Take care. Bye.